All right, welcome. Let's start off the new month, the new week, with a quick technical analysis for the week ahead. So far, this is the euro dollar. Let's dive into that. I'm going to cover a little bit the pound and gold as well, because those three are the ones that I usually trade. But so let's look at the euro dollar. As you can see, between these lines, we see this. Well, technically it's an imbalance. It's not visible on every broker, but we have to keep an eye on it. It's potentially a good target. It's from 2022 February. I think this range should be rebalanced. By rebalanced, I mean that with a up close candle with a full body up here. So for now, it looks like on the weekly, because this is the weekly euro dollar, it is heading up there. I wouldn't say that we broke structure here, as the weekly retraced back into this consolidation range. We're still bullish on the weekly chart, all right? As for the daily, what I think, there is quite some liquidity sitting up here. So that could be a potential buy side target. And in the past week and before that, we have repriced this imbalance right here from this fair value gap on the daily chart. So as you can see, there is nothing major to be repriced down in this area. So with that in mind, I would say the best option for price should be to keep heading upwards and take out some more liquidity on the upside. I'm definitely looking for some bullishness for next week, which does not mean that it's not gonna, it could not dive down. But it's an interesting fact that the daily chart on Friday actually took out the lows from previous Friday, the week before, and it also managed to climb all the way up here with a nice up close candle. Although we have conflicting price right here. I mean, if we look at the weekly, it almost it's a doji candle, so very much an indecisiveness in the market. But if as you can see, the daily candles are showing the same scenario. So indecision in the market. Still, if I would have to bet on something, I would say we can continue a bullish momentum all the way to reprice that that imbalance. By repricing, I mean, sorry, not repricing, excuse me, rebalancing this price range, because, you know, it made quite a trip down there and now it got back up here. I think it's a reasonable target in the long term. I wouldn't go really down into 15-minute and 5-minute entries or charts. As you can see, this gray area is this fair value gap right there, the daily fair value gap. I'd say we're still hovering inside this range, and since on the hourly we can see that on Friday it took some liquidity down there, which was actually that sell side liquidity right down there. It moved back up. I think we have a good chance to continue to deliver this price all the way up there. All right, so that's where I would put my bet to continue. And if we put a fib here into this swing, I'd say we have a good chance on Monday to drive all the way down to 108.83 level, which is around the mid threshold of the swing area. Looking to go long around this price range, or maybe a little bit lower, you know, depends. So that's it. That's it on the 1 hour, and on the 4 hour almost the same scenario technically. Broke structure, went up, So I do see bullishness on euro. Now let's check the pound. This is the pound. Oops, sorry. This is the pound weekly chart. Now the weekly chart is a little bit interesting. Let me mark up this one here. This is also from 2022 on the weekly chart, and which these lines represent is an imbalance from last year, actually from April, the month of April, when pound was diving very fast here, left quite an imbalance here. The scenario is almost the same as on the euro, in my opinion. We still see bullishness on the weekly chart. I think we still have a huge potential to reprice this range, this gray area right here, which is left from that imbalance to be rebalanced. I guess that's the word. I hope you still can follow me. So this could be rebalanced still. So I'm quite bullish on the weekly chart. Look at this. On the weekly, repriced that fair value gap quite nicely and headed back up. So I'm bullish on pound as well. Of course, we do need lower dollar index for all these to happen, but so far that's all I can see. If I go down to the daily, let's see. Actually, nothing really left on the daily. We have a bullish engulfing pattern right here. Don't really trade that. There was some imbalance here as well, which has been repriced. If I take the retail logic, we can see a bull flag, but I'm not trading that. But as you can see, if we look at it from retail logic, we can see a bull flag. I'm not really into that, and I'm not really trading trend lines. Absolutely. But still, the only thing that concerns me a little bit is that this daily candle, this bearish daily candle, which happened on Wednesday, on the 28th, have changed the structure on pound and turned this daily structure to a little bit bearish. And we can also consider this area right here to a bearish order block. Correct me if I'm wrong, I might be wrong here. But we have to see how price is going to react on these levels. If I go down to the hourly, it can drive all the way down here. However, because this is the 1 hour chart, if this level here, actually we could see this level right here as a potential support on the 1 hour. So if this fair value gap using that level as a support can hold, then we can look for potential long entries here as well. So be careful, be careful. On the 1 hour, it changed structure very nicely. Overall, the weekly looks bullish, very nice bullish. Actually, for a long-term position trade, this could have been a nice long entry here. So the only thing that concerns me is this daily candle right here. But I think if we can stay above this level, which is the 26.66 or around this area in this fair value gap, and we see a formation to go long, I'm gonna take it based on the 5-minute or the 15-minute for my entries, of course. Okay, and now let's look at gold. Now, gold is gonna be messy. Let's check gold. Yeah, I told you it's gonna be messy because these annotations are still from my intraday annotations. I don't want to delete them just for now, so these are a little bit outdated. But anyway, can I turn this off? Ah, no problem. If we look at the weekly, Anyway, I deleted that. Okay, this is the weekly gold chart. As you can see on the weekly gold chart, there is still an imbalance which has left. Not too much. Most likely it has been repriced all the way down. A little bit imbalance left down here. And we have, look at this, all this relative equal highs. Very interesting. Almost 3 times. Well, not perfectly equal, but you know, anything can happen. Now, what was interesting is that the fundamentals were suggesting that gold should go dive deeper after the unemployment data this week, because it's still Sunday, at least here. So the unemployment data and everything else suggested that gold should go down. It retraced back up. This is the daily chart, of course, and it closed above this candle and this as well, showing some bullishness. I know I told you guys on stream that I'm quite in a favor of catching this buy side liquidity which rests above 1983, and you guys are going to be seeing that on the 1 hour chart. If we go down to the 4 hour, nothing major to see here, but on the hourly chart, let me just get this out of the way. On the hourly chart, I think there is quite some area, especially if we would go down to the 15-minute or the 5-minute charts, like relative equal highs right there or there. Oops. To be repriced. Or my favorite area, as you can see, the 1983 area, which can be seen quite well on the hourly chart. If we look at it closer, we see 1, almost 2, 3, 4 times that price is strongly reacting to this 1983 area. I do believe that that liquidity will be a target. The question is when. The question is when. But I do believe that's a potential good target if we want to go along. Now, if we zoom out on the 1 hour, for Monday, I don't really have any kind of scenario. It repriced this fair value gap here. So at this very moment here, gold can either just drop down like a rock or run for that liquidity right here as a buy side. So that would be hard to tell, hard to read on the daily as well, hard to read the 4 hour, hard to read the 1 hour. We have to wait until Monday so the price could confirm if it wants to take out this high and continue to take out this buy side. So nothing here on gold for me, but I'm technically on the technical point, I am looking for gold as well to edge higher, especially because on the weekly I love these equal highs. Those are meant to be taken out sooner or later. So on the long term, I'm bullish on gold. On the technical side, of course, the fundamentals are different. But for now, that's what I see, and that's all for now for the weekly update. That's what I'm going to be looking for, and starting refreshed, more motivated, and looking forward, and you know, fresh month. Let's give it everything we got, you know, but do not overtrade. I had my worst month in June since last November. I do hope that the next month, which is this month, July, is going to be much better than June. Crazy markets, crazy conditions, and I made some huge mistakes. But guys, this is my analysis. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe to the channel, and see you guys on the live streams. All right, thank you very much for watching.